because he was a great thinker, but because I've been known to have some reasonably profound insights myself. Although mine invariably resolve around a Swedish airline stewardess and some handcuffs. No, the great appeal for me of this wisest of all Greeks was his courage in the facing of death. He chose not to abandon his principles, but rather to die to prove a point. I personally am not so fearless about dying, and will, after any untoward noise such as a car backfiring, leap directly into the arms of the person I'm conversing with. In the end, Socrates' brave death gave his life authentic meaning, something my existence lacks totally. However, it does possess a minimal relevance to the Internal Revenue Department. I must confess I have tried to put myself in this great philosopher's sandals many times, but no matter how often I do, I always wind up dozing off and having the following dream. The scene is my prison cell. I am usually sitting alone, trying to work out some deep problem of rational thought. Like, can an object be called a work of art if it can also be used to clean the kitchen stove? Presently, I am visited by Agathon and Simmias.
Ah, my good friend and wise old sage. How go your days of confinement?
What can one say of confinement, Agathon? Only the body may be circumscribed. My mind roams freely, unfettered by four walls. So therefore, in truth, I ask, does confinement exist?
Well, what if you want to take a walk?
Good question. I can't. The three of us sit in classical poses, not unlike something of a frieze. Finally, Agathon speaks.
I'm afraid the word is bad. You've been condemned to death.
It saddens me I should cause debate in the Senate.
No debate. Unanimous.
Really?
First ballot.
I'd count on a little more support.
The Senate is curious of your ideas for a utopian state.
I guess I never should have suggested a philosopher king.
Especially when you kept pointing to yourself and clearing your throat.
And yet, I do not regard my executioners as evil.
Nor do I.
Yeah, well, or what is evil, merely good in excess.
How so?
Say a man is singing a lovely song, and it is beautiful, but if he keeps singing, eventually you want to stuff socks down his throat.
True.
And if he definitely won't stop singing, then you really want to stuff socks down his throat.
Yes, very true.
What time is the sentence to be carried out?
What time is it now?
Today?
They need the jail cell.
Then let it be. Let them take my life. Let it be known that I died, rather than abandon the principles of truth and free inquiry. Weep not, Agathon.
I'm not leaving. This is an allergy.
For to the man of the mind, death is not an end, but a beginning.
Oh, how so?
Well, now, give me a minute.
Take your time.
You agree, Simmias, that man does not exist before he is born, is it not?
Yes, I agree.
Nor does he exist after his death.
Yes, that's true.
Now, wait a minute. I'm a little confused. You know, they only feed me lamb, and it's never well cooked.
Most men regard death as the final end. Consequently, they fear it.
Death is a state of non-being, that which is not, does not exist. Therefore, death does not exist. Only truth exists, truth and beauty. Each is interchangeable, but are aspects of themselves. What did they say they had in mind for me?
Hemlock.
Hemlock?
You know, that black liquid that ate through your marble table.
Really?
Just one cupful, though they do have a backup chalice should you spill it.
I wonder if it's painful.
They asked if you try not to make a scene. It disturbs the other prisoners.
Right. Did the concept of exile ever come up?
They stopped exiling last year.
Too much red tape.
Right. So, what else is there?
Oh, I ran into Isosceles. He's a great idea for a new triangle.
Right. Listen, I'm going to let you. I don't want to die. I'm too young.
This is your chance to die for truth.
Don't misunderstand that. I'm all for truth. On the other hand, I have a lunch date in Sparta next week, and I really hate to miss it. It's my turn to buy. You know those Spartans. They fight so easily.
Is our wisest philosopher a coward?
I'm not a coward, but I'm not a hero. I'm somewhere in the middle.
A cringing vermin.
It's approximately the spot.
But you've proved many times that death doesn't exist.
Hey, listen, I've proved a lot of things. That's how I pay my rent. Theories and little observations. A puckish remark now and then. Occasional maxims. Beats picking olives, but let's not get carried away.
But you've said many times that the soul's immortal.
And it is, on paper. See, that's the thing about philosophy. It's not all that functional once you get out of class.
The eternal forms? You said each thing did exist and always will exist.
I was mostly talking about heavy objects, a statue or something. With people, it's a lot different.
But all that talk about death being the same as sleep.
And it is. But the difference is, when you're dead and somebody yells, "Everybody up, it's morning!" It's very hard to find your slippers. The executioner arrives with a cup of hemlock. He bears a close facial resemblance to the Irish comedian Spike Milligan.
Ah, here we are. Who gets the poison?
He does.
Gee, it's a big cup. Should it be smoking like that?
Yes, and drink it all because lots of times the poison's at the bottom.
Usually here, my behavior is totally different than Socrates', and I'm told I scream in my sleep. "No, please, don't! I don't want to die! Help, please!" He hands me the bubbling brew amidst my disgusting pleading, and all seems lost. Then, because of some innate survival instinct, the dream always takes an upturn, and a messenger arrives.
Wait, hold everything. The Senate is revoted. The charges are dropped. It's been decided you should be honored instead.
At last, they came to their senses. I'm a free man, free, and to be honored, yes. Quick, Anthemius, get my bags. Praxles will want to get an early start on my bust. But before I go, I give a little parable.
That really wasn't quite rehearsal. I wonder if they know what they're doing.
Say a group of men live in a cave. They are unaware that outside the sun shines. The only light that is known to them is the flickering flame of a few small candles which they use to move around.
Where'd they get the candles?
Well, let's just say they have them.
They live in a cave and have candles? Doesn't ring true.
Can you just buy it for now?
Okay, but get to the point.
And then one day, one of the cave dwellers wanders outside of the cave. Into the outside world.
In all of its clarity.
Precisely. In all its clarity.
When he tries to tell the others, they don't believe him.
Well, no. Say he doesn't tell the others.
Doesn't?
No. He opens a meat market, marries a dancer, and dies of a cerebral hemorrhage at 42. They grab me and force the hemlock down. Usually here I wake up, and only some eggs and smoked salmon calm me down.